Guys, welcome to day 48. 2 days to go. All right, today we're going to be talking about making learning a habit. During the course of this series, we did an episode on growth mindset. So we've talked about that. Now we're going to learn how to actually make learning a habit. Because if you are going to work on purpose, you need to work on it daily. And what that implies is that you have to apply yourself to learning and gaining knowledge daily, and this has to be done strategically. Like, you can intentionally build your environment and surrounding such that you learn daily, right? You subconsciously you are learning daily, and consciously you are learning daily. Like, this is a habit that personally I've incorporated in my life, and it's been very massive. It's very wonderful. So I'll just share with you how to actually do this. So the first one, of course, is reading books. Now, I know a lot of people would ask me, or usually question me, like, oh, must you read books? Is it a must? What of people that can't read? How do they make it in life? Well, understand that the essence of reading books is not about the book itself. It's not about, you know, reading the book or just reading a book, right? The essence of reading a book is that you are able to gain the knowledge that these authors have gathered, and have researched upon, and understanding distance, right? And understanding their perspective, right? So reading books are one of those medium where you get to gain knowledge, right? And it's not the only medium, but it's like, for me, I would say it's like the best medium, right? Because first of all, books are easy to access. Right? And books communicate clearer. It engages your mind compared to, let's say, watching a movie, right? It makes you create, not consume. So when you're reading, you're actually creating. You're creating the pictures in your head. And I'm not just talking about fiction now. Any type of book at all, you're creating the pictures in your head. You're creating the imagination, the response, reaction, everything in your head. So so you're consuming, yeah, but you're also creating. So it's like a 50-50 kind of thing. But once you also understand it, so you're creating, you're understanding everything. But if you're just scrolling or watching a movie, the consumption to creation ratio is about like 70 to 30, because you're not actually tangibly creating anything. The creation there is you coming into an understanding of what you are consuming, right? So I wouldn't say 80-20. All right, so yes, so that's why reading books is it helps your brain to grow. All right, so there are other mediums through which you can get this knowledge, but I tell you, reading books is like the best, right? Because you're not just reading, you're also training your brain, you're increasing your capacity, and so much more, right? There are things you can find in books, there are things that people have written that they may not even have said, right? And there are things they have written, but it's not everywhere, it's not popular. These are the kind of knowledge you need to contend for. So reading books, whatever kind of books that you can gain knowledge from, not just entertainment. And this is one of the reasons why I don't usually engage non-fiction books, because I see it as, most times I see people just engage it for entertainment though, and that's not what I'm looking for. If I'm looking for entertainment, I'd rather watch a movie. So don't just read for entertainment, read for knowledge. There's something you want to know. Whatever type of book, fake books, history, go and read them, get it, start small, and build on something, right? Okay, next is, now the one that people will usually engage, watch documentaries, watch enlightening movies. There are movies that you can watch and you can learn so much. There are movies that have been crafted for knowledge, especially documentaries, about history, about things that are going on. You need to be aware of your surrounding and what's happening in the world at the moment, so you're not left behind. All right, number 3 is engage your curiosity. Many of us have sold our curiosity to TikTok and Facebook, right? You need to learn to engage your curiosity. If you're curious about something, take time, engage it, search it, read about it, ask people about it, engage your curiosity. Don't just allow things to stay in your mind. Don't allow them to stay in your mind. We talked about, when we're talking about ambition, that things need to leave your mind to your hands. Okay, things need to leave your mind to your hands. So make sure you engage it, engage your curiosity. Then number 4, be observant by question. Remember when we talked about thinking, we said one of the ways to think is to question things. Oh, this phone, it can do this. How? Why? When? Who did it? How is he able to do this? How can I also do it? Question things, right? Rain is falling. Where does the rain come from? Be, don't just be normal. Do you understand? Make up your mind. In fact, after this series, make up your mind that you cannot be thinking normal again. We've talked about so many things that can never make you normal again in your life. So these are some ways you can make learning a habit intentionally. Another one is engage with in meaningful conversations with your friends. Of course, this starts with if you have meaningful friends that can also contribute to meaningful conversations. Because if you don't have meaningful friends, then this is a no-no, right? Unless you go to change your friends or go to a new environment where you can engage. But this is also very important because sometimes in conversations too is creation. The consumption to creation ratio is like let's say 50-50, or sometimes the creation is more than it, but it's either 50-50 or the creation is more than this, right? So don't only consume. Even in that conversation, try to think, create, contribute. You matter, you understand, right? Some of us have to go back to episode 2 where we talked about why purpose matters, and just to encourage you to continue with this. So one thing you should do, wake up in mind. You can't be normal after going through this series, right? Thanks so much for watching today. See you tomorrow.